Canada slapped a 25% retaliatory tariff on $155 billion worth of American goods today after the Trump administration implemented its own 25% tariffs on nearly all imports from Mexico and Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau relayed a message to the U.S. earlier.
Our tariffs will remain in place until the U.S. tariffs are withdrawn, and not a moment sooner. I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you.
The U.S. also placed a 10% tariff on Chinese goods. That's on top of an existing 10% tariff that was imposed last month. In response, China says it will implement tariffs of up to 15% on key American imports, including chicken, pork, soy, and beef. For more, let's bring in CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady. So, Kelly, how much of a burden will these tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, China be for Americans? And what do economists think it's going to do to inflation?
So economists think that this could raise inflation because the idea is these companies that are importing these goods from Canada, Mexico, and China, they're going to have to pass that cost on to us, the consumers. They might be able to absorb some of it depending on how big of a company they are. But when you pass that cost on, prices go up, and that's the definition of inflation. And so when you look at some of the goods that would be impacted, I mean, the Target CEO today said you could see prices for some grocery items go up by the end of the week, just within a few days, because they're perishable, right? You can't stockpile that. So we've already seen a lot of anxiety from consumers about tariffs. We've already seen consumer spending go down. So you could see that accelerate if prices go up.
So we've been reporting that we've already heard the Commerce Secretary say that there may be some wiggle room on this. Is it your inkling that this could be in response to the stock market performance?
I don't think it is in response to the stock market performance, even though the president does use the stock market as sort of a performance metric, if you will. I will note, by the way, we have pretty much completely eradicated all of the gains that we saw following the election. So we're sort of back to square one from that bump that we saw. But I think this really is about trying to get specific concessions. However, I think what you should watch tomorrow is if we do get a deal where there is some sort of coming together in the middle with these tariffs, you're going to see the stock market rebound. And if we don't get it, you're going to see it go down.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about Canada. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, she also says that she will impose retaliatory tariffs in response. The announcement is planned for Sunday. What can we expect for those tariffs?
So she's been mum about it so far, but you look at some of, you look at some of the goods that they tariffed last time and sort of the biggest exports from the U.S. You're talking dairy, you're talking soybean, corn, poultry, wheat, petroleum. So, I mean, Mexico is one of our biggest trading partners. That could hurt a lot of those industries. And specifically, I want to zero in on farmers. We also just saw China slap retaliatory tariffs on corn and soybean. And so now think about it. These farmers have two of their biggest markets that are slapping retaliatory tariffs on them.
Wow.
That could be a really, really big problem for our agriculture industry.
Okay, Kelly O'Grady, thank you.